Greetings, dear respected audience. This is Esther Mala, your firstly and successful global educator, corporate trainer, SDG, ESG, and technology enthusiast from Malaysia, who not only focus on her life but also desire to see others excel in their lives by offering quality education for all. Dear precious audience, esteemed academician, our dedicated project team of Elegant Empire Education welcomes you to the Real Talk with Experts Sustainable Development Goal Forum. We are privileged to have Assistant Professor Dr. Anjum Qureshi here with us today. She is our host and the project leader for this SDG forum. In this forum, we will explore transformative strategies and that empowers communities through knowledge. Together, let us engage in this insightful discussion that inspires actions and foster collaboration for a sustainable future with our honorable, respected panelists. Our topic today will be building effective and inclusive societies. This is under SDG 11. Let me introduce Professor Rachna Ranjan Chakraborty. She is an educationist, multi-award winner, award-winning speaker, published poet, author, edu-mentor, deputy chief moderator for Maharashtra State Board, teaching aids expert, global international speaker, global educationist, founder of CVMD and CWMA's Institute of Skill Development, and she has many more awards. It's not enough time if I'm going to read all her awards. So through this brief introduction, I'm very sure you know that she is a very skillful person, as knowledgeable person. So for this, I welcome Professor Rachna Ranjan to our forum. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for joining us in this vital conversation.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. So to continue, I will pass the floor to Dr. Anjum. Dr. Anjum, the floor is yours. Dr. Anjum? Oh,
please allow me.
She was disconnected. Okay.
Yeah, I got disconnected. So thank you very much. And greetings to everyone. I'm Dr. Anjum Qureshi from India, and today we are here with another very important topic uh, upon building resilient and inclusive societies. And to discuss on this topic, we have our esteemed panelist, Professor Rachna Chakraborty, ma'am. And before starting with the discussion, I would like to just have 2 to 3 slides. So can we have the slides, please? Yes, today we are talking about the inclusive and resilient societies, how we are going to build it. So, if we talk about inclusion, if we talk about resilience in the society, then there are a number of factors that have to be taken, like whether it is age, whether it is religion, equality, respect to all, uh, equality in the forms of gender, and equality even in other terms. We have to, it is not just about gender, but it is equality in every terms. Now we will be discussing more on it, but it is, I will just like to discuss a small data that has been given by in 2020 when UNICEF actually adapted programming to continue to reach vulnerable children across the world. Because when we see let it be any case, the vulnerable sections, there are mostly the women, the children, and the elderly people. So even in this, if you see, like 4.4 million children who had experienced violence, they received health, social work, or justice services. Then 10.2 million people engaged through education, communication, and social mobilization. 13 million women and children benefited from the gender-based violence. So this are all okay. That they have got through it, but we can see how many have actually gone through so much of atrocity, so much of cruelty. Now, if you want to work during disasters, because when the women, the children, and other vulnerable section of the society, they are falling risk to so many injustices that are going on in the world. Yes, First thing that we have to do is the assessments, the vulnerability assessments. Then we have to design the age-friendly spaces. Then inclusive outreach work is very, very important. And then psychological support is needed, peer engagement is needed, technical support is needed, and of course, some kind of funding should be there. So, with these steps, in fact, the way we are talking about, like everyone should be equal, and we are dreaming of an inclusive society that can be achieved. So now let's continue with this talk. Like we are talking about inclusivity, we are talking about resilience, and the next thing, like our panelist today, we have she's an educator, but she is also a person who is very active in humanitarian works, a person who has empowered so many people. So once again, welcome you, ma'am. And so to start with the discussion, I would like to ask the first question like, how do you define a resilient and inclusive society in today's global context?
Thank you so much, Anju ma'am, for that question. And I think this topic needs to be implemented, and we need to discuss more at a large about it, because this is what is bothering today's youth. We need to understand the criticalities about it and use it, implement it rather. So, your question is quite apt to the point that defining first, when we define a resilient and inclusive society in the global context, it is where most of the members, if not, they feel that they are playing a part and they have to access their basic needs and livelihoods. And they are provided with the opportunity to take part in the decision making process that is affecting their lives. It is about a society that will foster the principles to it. So, I believe that in the era of globalization, today's societies are faced with lot of multifarious challenges. They are increasingly in the need to cope with the interlinked uncertainties. Although the term vulnerability is there, which means to be exposed to being harmed, as well as inability to cope or to withstand the impact of a harmful environment, has been used over the years, over decades, for the social and political science discourse in order to raise the awareness of these potential risks. More sustainable and inclusive policies with no positive inclusive term based theoretical the agendas. Thus, in today's advanced phase of globalization, there we always need the positive as much as the possible overarching architectural strategy to convert the crisis into opportunities. So the term resilience, which in its basic meaning suggests the resistance, the stubbornness, or even the hardiness, used mainly in psychology and educational science since decades ago, in the 1970s, rather, we can say, to make an important contribution to social environment in this respect. So, resilient societies are very important now with the principles of inclusiveness. So, mainly, I believe that in the global context, when we look about a resilient and inclusive society, it is about a society where we give the basic needs and livelihoods and provide them with the opportunity to make the decision in it, which will affect their own lives. Thank you so much for the question, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, that is really very good answer. Yes, of course, it is not just about providing the basic needs, but even beyond that, we have to talk about everything, like whether it is education, it is innovation, and that all the members. It needs to ensure that all the members of the society, they have access to resources, they have access to opportunities, and because they feel safe wherever they live. And we are addressing issues like poverty, inequality, lack to access to education, healthcare. In fact, everything should be included in it. That was really a very good answer. And with this, I would like to go for the next question. Like we were talking about inclusivity. So, why is inclusivity a critical component of resilience when we are addressing social, economic, and environmental challenges?
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, of course, inclusivity is very, very important nowadays. And when we talk about the critical component of the resilience in this society and the environmental changes which is coming up, inclusivity is actually the critical component of resilience as it ensures that everyone's needs and are considered and addressed when facing the challenges, leading to more effective and sustainable solutions. So, I believe that by including these diverse perspectives and experiences, inclusive approaches can identify potential vulnerabilities and I can give you different reasons why inclusivity is so important because it is reducing first case it is reducing vulnerability. Now what do you mean by vulnerability? It's a huge term, but it means just very simple: marginalized groups often face disproportionate risks and have fewer resources to cope with the challenges. Now if you're ignoring the needs in the resilience building efforts, which makes them more open and more provocative to the resilience system. So that is why we need this inclusivity is so important, because it will reduce this vulnerability. And moreover, second point, it enhances the problem solving. Whatever problem has cropped up, this can be removed with the inclusivity. So, diverse perspectives, which leads to more creative and effective solutions, it can be implemented at large when we are addressing the social and economic and environmental challenges too. So, it is also helping in promoting equity, inclusivity. How I'll just tell you how. When it promotes equity, inclusivity ensures the benefits of resilience building. The efforts that are shared, equitability, preventing and widening of existing inequalities, and promoting more just, sustainable future. So that is what is more important, providing an equal atmosphere. And then not only this, it also improves the sustainability. Sustainability is needed if you want inclusivity. So inclusion ensures that solutions are tailored. It is just in streamlined to the specific needs and context of different groups, making them more likely to be adapted and sustained over the long term. So, in essence of this inclusive resilience is not just about simple fairness, it's a practical approach which is strengthening the communities and systems and then further enabling them to better withstand and recover from the social, economic, and the environmental challenges. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, that was really a very good answer. In fact, yes, as the way you are relating inclusivity and resilience, that's really a very great. In fact, it is really, I'm really learning a lot. Now, if we try to continue this, like you even talked about sustainability. So yes, and of course, even I agree to it that when we are talking about inclusivity, it is a requirement of achieving sustainability or achieving sustainable development. So in this regard, I would like to ask my next question, in what ways do resilient and inclusive societies contribute directly to sustainable development?
Yeah, you can give some examples, maybe what is happening in your town,
Yeah.
in India, yeah, or
Yes.
even other countries. Yes, that would be good.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. Yeah, this topic is too much connected with the previous question which you just asked me. So, coming to the sustainable development, which is really very, very important now. Your question is like about inclusive society contributing directly to the development, sustainable development. So, first, we need to understand the term which we are talking about right now. Resilient and inclusive societies are very crucial for the development. We need to foster the opportunities, ultimately promoting a long term well being and progress. So, we are allowing the societies to withstand and recover from shocks which they are undergoing. For example, if I tell you about the recent floods which have been occurring in Mumbai itself, not to go far off the place where I'm staying. Now we will see that nowadays the drainage system and the opportunities which have been provided in every small localities, people are no longer honkering, or they're moving out of their houses during the heavy rains, when there are heavy showers of rains, so they don't have to go out. So we have an enhanced adaptability and stability too, because this resilience is enabling the societies to cope up and to recover from the shocks and stresses with the natural disasters. We have seen Mumbai floods, ma'am, as you might be knowing, the floods in Mumbai, which have been very destructive. And even now, last 2 days, our schools were declared holidays for the kids. We did not have schools because of the floods. So it's a great gap in the education system too, where we are not able, but still now there is a supportive system also which is going out, which makes it more sustainable in the sense that education has not stopped. If the students are at home, we are having the online classes as usual. There is no slander in the electricity problem. Government has been able to cope up with it. So as a result, we find that sustainability has come up into it, promoting the equitable resource and distribution access. Then for example, if I'm talking about the floods in Mumbai, so here we are being provided, the access has been given to the basic necessities of food, water, healthcare is available 24/7, which was not available in the earlier time. So now there is a change which is coming up as we are marching towards 2030. We are able to see that this is mostly going on as a change to a sustainable development with the inclusive societies coming up. As we are addressing more and more to the inequalities and promoting social justice everywhere, we are trying to do still more has to be done. Then the fair and equitable access to the resources, everyone is getting access. Like I told you, in our college too, we have started with the online lectures. We did not give them full holiday. We had called the students online and conducted the regular lectures online. The rain could not be a disturbance at all. Whereas if I go back to 3 to 4 years ago, there was complete disruption due to rain. There were, excuse me, there were days of abstraction. Students were the municipality had to declare holidays for days together, uh, because the safety of the students is a top priority. But now the development has taken, and it has given the opportunities to study from home itself, and 24/7 all the social equalities, everything has been provided. So then fostering the sustainable consumption also has been done by the society slowly, slowly. We are getting all the help at a phone call. We get it at home. Whether it's, I myself had a blood checkup yesterday, whereas it was raining, and it was not that these medical system was been prevented. They are getting in connection with it, though there is some delay, but still the work is going on properly. So driving the economic growth and innovation. So this is also a very, very important sector in the sustainable development, which we find is taking a complete change. When we talk about the climate action, last but not the least, the climate action has also been completely minimizing the damage, ensuring the continuity of essential services, promoting sustainable practices, and reducing greenhouse gas emission too, which we can see now everywhere. Mostly everywhere, everyone is providing this. And we are addressing the social inequalities like here right now in this platform. We are addressing all the social inequalities, and inclusive societies can ensure that climate action benefits are for all the members of the societies, which becomes they can, they can create the condition for long-term well-being and equitable resource distribution to effective solutions, which has been hampering the 21st century at the beginning. Now this has slowly been reduced. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I think a few years back, I don't know whether still the condition is the same or not. In Chennai, the airport used to be flooded and all. Does that persist still
Uh, Now,
in
not
Chennai?
that much. It
Not
is
that much.
not there.
Oh, okay, okay. So it was very bad before. So,
Yes.
so what can be done to reduce floods and all that? You think that, of course, they have done a lot of things, but how do they manage, especially Chennai and Bombay? These are big, huge cities. One is
They
capital,
are,
Delhi.
ma'am, they are actually working with the drainage system, because
Ah,
that is where the drains have been blocked with the public, which is not aware of their wastes, the dry waste, the wet waste. So this department has been, the municipality has arisen, and they are taking every society into context where the people become aware of throwing their waste. In
yeah,
India, we mostly do not give fines much, but now it has arisen, and the people now have become aware that if we are keeping our society unclean, it will
uh-huh.
again come back to us.
Yeah,
So
but
that
the thing
is
is
it.
that, yeah, yeah, I do agree with you. I mean, these are the similar uh, measures taken by Malaysian government as well. In Kuala Lumpur is the capital. It used to flood. Just slightest rain, it will start to flood. You know,
Yes.
but now we have resolved the problem, not as bad as before. Even cities quite a distance from, I mean, far away from KL city also suffer this, but we are overcoming it. But again, I heard in India the topography of the land, yeah, it's sinking. They say Chennai is sinking. You know, that is also another. That's a
Yes.
natural,
The land
natural.
topography has changed.
Yes. So this is also something which is scary, right? Because the
Yes.
sea water comes to the land with the rain and all. It's really very scary, especially those who live in lower land. So all this, of course, we have natural phenomenal which can cause flood and rain, and again with the climate change and with all the we can say a lot. Yes, of course, like India is a huge country. Your village is much more, the area coverage is more than if you compare to Malaysia or, or Singapore even. But the issue here is how much of awareness these people from uh, you know uh, rural areas have. Again, in city, awareness had been created long time ago, but I think maybe not enough. And these people deliberately couldn't be bothered in throwing rubbish. People live. People want to live to their convenience, not for their safety. You know, safety includes health, right? So when there's
Yes.
an outbreak of sickness, disease, and all that, we are also going to be affected if we don't keep our place clean. Yes, no doubt, they have much awareness have been created. I mean, a lot of things have been done, campaigns and all that. but still the attitudes of the people got to change. Generally, the since we are in the modern world, they have become lazier. Like you see, like indoor is the most cleanest city in. Can we call that city or state? State, is it, in India? You see, and the way they manage the waste, you know, and they keep the place clean because the people have awareness. The town planning is good. The authority is doing the job well, so the town can be kept clean. You see, and I think they are maintaining it for many years, right? So if every state does that, so authorities also play an important role in keeping the
Yes.
cities,
Very
like,
important authorities.
yeah, yeah. Okay, please carry on.
Yeah, like ma'am, what you said is very true. The authorities play a very important part, and in Mumbai we have seen that change because I am
Yeah,
from Mumbai. We have
yeah.
seen a great change coming up because
Oh,
last year itself there was so much of floods. Now too we have floods, but it doesn't stay.
ah,
If the rain reduces, the water goes down. But there
okay.
is flood now too, but still it is accessible, and there are points where people can, get the help 24/7. No
Yeah,
one is at danger. I remember when I was caught up in a flood some 5 years back with my daughter. We were there 18 hours in a train, locked up because of the flood. The train was not moving. So,
yeah.
but now it's not the same. My daughters are
Good.
traveling alone. I don't have that fear because communication has become very easier. The safer awareness, especially what happens is that the drainage and the sewage are blocked up, and this is
Uh,
because of us. While we are
yeah,
traveling to eat a chocolate, a simple thing like chocolate, the wrapper
uh,
we drop it on the ground, on the floor,
yeah,
just
yeah,
because we are not fine, and this culminates into a huge number clogging the drainage system which
yes,
has
yes,
been built. So, and as
yeah,
a result, floods. But now
yes,
this has changed over the
yeah.
years.
See,
The
the,
awareness
no, the
spread.
high population in India, India got to be very careful because high
Yes.
population. Yeah, and then again the waste management. So the
Yes,
waste
the and
management.
waste management has been taken steps by the political parties. The government has taken a quick step, including the schools and the colleges have laid ample hands training the students, the younger generation. So we have street plays been conducted. So awareness is needed in the first place, and then
Yes.
we can have the societies been built up in such a way which will become more sustainable to live in.
And again, with the sustainable development goal and all these initiatives, they start very early in school. So how long the school is keeping up with this, effort to teach the children, you know. So
Yes,
that is also another thing because we got to teach children from home, from school, from young. So they will it will be just like their second nature to keep things. So when at home, the children know how to dispose the waste carefully, correctly, and they have the awareness that what will happen in case we throw rubbish everywhere in the house, what it will cause. So the parents should educate them, and when they go to school, another level, the school can teach them how to recycle waste, you see. Sorry.
Yeah. That was really a
Yeah,
very great discussion. And in fact, what I could say, yes, we talked about how awareness is helping. So, yeah, it even comes under education. And then you talked about health, how the climate change and other things that we are dealing with, how our health is affected, and how the development that has going on, it is contributing to a better health, to a better communication. So, so now I would like to ask, like, how can education, health, and the livelihood programs help to strengthen resilience and inclusivity, but at the same time, they should also help in promoting sustainability. So, how will this happen?
yeah, actually, that question, it is somewhat related to the previous one. Yeah, very nice. Being in the education world and education system, education is the only way where we can promote this sustainability, giving them, awareness, as I was talking about. Education, health, and livelihood programs, it always plays a crucial role in strengthening resilience and inclusivity, where promoting we are also in the long run promoting sustainability by equipping the individuals, by giving them the apt knowledge, skills. That is where education comes in, and resource to adapt the change and thrive and prosper, in this world which is changing every day. So basically, if we follow the programs which has been endeavored to foster the social cohesion and the economic empowerment, the environmental awareness leading to more sustainable and equitable societies. So first we need education. So education is promoting a inclusivity, building human capital, developing the critical thinking, which is very important. We, with the help of education, can foster the critical thinking skills, enabling the individuals to analyze every complex issues and evaluate the information, and making them informed about the decisions related to sustainability, which is why we need to educate them and open up their critical thinking. It is, as education or as educators, I being in the same field of education for the past 27 years, I have been trying to develop this skill in the minds of everyone, so that they can, get to make decisions. Then they can inform the informed decisions with is relating to, and helping them to analyze the complex issues, not from one point of view but from several point of view. We all have to do that and try, and education does it for us. Secondly, when I'm talking about health, the health is also a very, very important factor which helps up in promoting sustainability. So, strengthening the resilience, in the sense, when I'm talking about strengthening resilience, for example, access to the health services, preventive care diseases, then community build up small communities, where they can openly talk and openly give their views or accept the views given. So small communities with like-minded people can build up against health and shocks and crisis which they are building. For example, the trauma centers. I remember building up for the women community too, the trauma centers, wherein people, the women come together and we have a live talk with each other. We are not there to project or, comment on their problems, but we rather analyze it in a complex way and find out how we can provide help, the solution to it. So every woman's, which I have met, every woman who have been suffering a lot, and they have not been able to open up, because they felt that somehow their problems were very, very minimal in compared to other important things. We made them open up, we made them think, analyze, and then take out, as a result, the health, the diseases which is starting from crisis, starting from stress, we had tried, helped to manage, and as a result we tried to stop being, more of health institutes. Then promoting the well-being, then enabling the social inclusion. Environmental health also is important. Health programs, um, I always try to do that with my communities. We conduct health programs and integrate the environmental health consideration, promoting awareness. We promote in them the complete awareness and links between environment and human health. We try to link it, that what the human health can do if the environment is in this condition, completely outpouring of the rainfall, or super heat, and where we need ACs compulsory. But it's not possible for everyone. Below the poverty line, they cannot buy that, but still they need to survive. How do we do that? So the waters readily available should be provided to them, and then we can give them a proper atmosphere to survive. So that is what my community too have been trying to do. Then the livelihood programs. This also I have been working a lot. A very, very important reason, providing the building resilience. We need to have these programs. We are equipping the individuals. Every individuals are equipped with these skills and resources to adapt to the economic sudden losses, economic shocks, and diversify the income resources, giving them the financial knowledge about it. Here again comes education. So education
Yeah.
is helping them in building the resilience, the financial loss, sudden loss which they come through. It completely breaks them down. And this I have seen with my own eyes, my own teachers who have just suffered from the medical crisis, and they're not able to cope up. The reason behind is that they were not investing properly their payments which they were getting. So the financial knowledge in building the resilience also has, I'm working on it. This is already in progress, and I have seen a
Oh,
great change coming around in my teachers too. Then
uh, that's very interesting, Professor. But again, yeah, no, I think everything got to work hand in hand. Not only education, the people's habits. Sometimes you are aware, but the habits got to change our habits. So habits always start from home, and
yeah.
halfway when we give them the awareness, they got to cultivate the habit of implementing whatever they learn, the awareness which they pick up. And again, on the other side, as we see, we have policemen to check on us, to check on the crime, to any misbehavior of the citizens and all that. We should have authorities checking on that very closely. Every state authorities, that is including, yeah, the authorities, the city councils, got to take a greater measure and initiative to make sure that it is implemented, people are following the instruction, people are keeping to what is required. So otherwise, we can give the education, but of course, education is crucial. But we can give all the education. If there's no good habit, we don't cultivate good habit, and the authorities are not doing anything, and people tend to be feel, oh, I'm very comfortable. When the authority is there. Sometimes you can see there's a sign in Malaysia. I've seen there's a sign saying that fine 2,000 for littering if you litter. But just below that sign, you will see a lot of rubbish dumped. Why? Because there's no proper action or a check, you know, checking, the authorities are not really checking and taking action and make sure it doesn't happen. No. Sometimes I used to laugh when I see this. And again, in cities, okay, in cities, you have a place like all the higher income people live, their township, their residential area is well organized. Okay, even industrial areas now they have improved a lot. But even in the city, you can see a place where more poor people, low income people live. No matter how beautiful you buildings you have there, still it looks like a village. Only thing the house are in bricks, but it looks like what's happening in village. I think sometimes the village are even cleaner. you know
Yes, yes,
Ah,
very true.
in Malaysia, if you go to rubber estate plantation, the workers quarters is so clean. Even when I was 6 7 years old, I used to go because my auntie is working in the hospital. She's I think a matron, And holidays will be, those days we always go. Holidays will be in our auntie's house, grandma's house, and all. So when I go there, I see everywhere green. Of course, rubber estate everywhere green. And then this hospital is so clean. And their house, they have flowers, they have nice gardens. And then the house is just cemented, cemented. And the cement shines. And their pot and pans shines. Can you believe that? So what do we say? What do we say about them? Living in away from town, many years back even, they are so clean and they manage their environment so well. But why we people live in town, in cities, okay? We have all the facilities, all the guidance, all the awareness created. Still, you go to the low income group, uh, residential area, especially flats and all that. Oh my God! After a few years, it becomes like slump. You know, very sad. Like for me, I scared to go that kind of area. I'm afraid to go to that areas. I mean, anyway, I got nothing to do, but sometimes I have been there before. We did some social work and all that. Very sad. It's so dirty. The house are in bricks, but why can't they take care it clean? Even the authority is under, normally these low cost apartments, flats are all under city council. So the authority is not doing the work. You see, if they don't come and check, then they will suffer of the dengue disease, dengue. India they call it dengue. Yeah, Malaysia dengue. People used to die like anything. Because the drains will be clogged, rubbish everywhere. Even rubbish is overflowing. The city council, they haven't come and collect the rubbish on time. You see, all these things still happens. Only expensive condominiums, you know, like bungalows, rich areas, everything is well managed. Because these people are very fussy because they pay a high maintenance fee, and low cost flats, they very low maintenance fee, so nobody cares. So all this got to change. Have to work together, hand in hand. We give education alone is not enough. We have to cultivate the habit. Habit is also another thing. Education, habit, prepare a proper town planning, and then we have authorities are the most important. You can have everything. If the authorities are not monitoring it well, then how beautifully you give to them, they will ruin it. So everything comes from individual. If every one of us take initiative to keep our home clean, our surrounding clean, yeah, then we live in a very good environment. You know, that's the thing.
Very
Yeah.
true, very true.
Very great sharing today, Professor Rachana.
Yeah, yeah,
Really,
I'm also enjoying. So
yeah.
let me
So how
quickly
the,
finish with
yeah, yeah,
Ajit ma'am's question, which she had asked.
yeah.
So
We have some
finally,
more.
when I can say that, as ma'am already said, Esther ma'am had already said, that these are interconnected. All these three aspects which
Yes,
Anju ma'am you had asked, the three areas are interconnected mutually, and they are reinforcing together. With education can empower individuals to pursue their sustainable livelihoods, while to access the healthcare can improve the ability to work. See how it is
yeah,
interconnected.
yeah.
So
Interconnected.
yeah, and contribute to the economy. So in turn,
Yes,
the strong economics and healthy populations can support more resilience. So if we have a healthy
yes,
population, the support will be more, and we can
yes.
have
You're
more
right.
good inclusive communities. So
Exactly.
by
Financial
integrating
economic.
Yes, by
See that?
integrating education, health, and livelihood programs, societies
Yes,
can foster a greater resilience, inclusivity, and sustainability, creating and obviously a prosperous future for all of us. Once it
yes.
is done,
Otherwise,
it's,
yes. Otherwise, the government got to spend a lot on waste management, clearing
yes,
up, or, cleaning up the cities, or, the areas. It's going to cost a lot, you see. So if we
very
don't manage well, that's another problem. Yeah, it's all interconnected. Right, you are right. Dr. Anjum, do you have any questions? Any more questions? Anything to share before we close?
Yeah, just one last question.
Oh, please.
Yeah, even Isha ma'am told about so much of her initiatives that she has been taking up as an educator, and even more than that, being all her humanitarian activities. In fact, I see the post she does, the way she is actually working to empower people to build resilient societies. So, ma'am, one last question just related to this. Like when you are into humanitarian activities and the way you're working with the people to make them resilient, to build resilient societies. So, according to you, what is the biggest challenge while aligning these humanitarian activities to development or building resilient societies or bringing the different types of climate agendas or any other development agendas towards the people? So, what is the biggest challenge that you face?
Yes, there are biggest challenges are many, but when we take it down, aligning humanitarian development and climatic agendas to build this resilient societies, which are facing significant challenges as of now, including securing an adequate, sustained climate financing, addressing the political will. This is where we are going side by side, and commitment to bridging the knowledge gaps. There are a lot of gaps in between, which is integrating the climate and considerations into the planning. So, additionally, the climate change and disasters are actually making this inclusive and equitable solutions. There is, like, for example, if I talk about the challenges, finance is the biggest challenge. There is a gap between the financial resource needed for the climate action and development. We have the process, we know the solution, but how to pull it down? We need the sufficient funding. We do not have funding as of now, especially for developing countries. It's needed. Actual amount has been mobilized, but still it is missing. Then climate financing for adaptation, when the scientists have already given us the process, the educationists have transcended down with the climate changes, and we have everything ready with us. Now to bring it into action, we need proper funding. So
Yeah,
next will be the political will.
yeah. I was just about to mention that.
Yes, the
It's not
funding
about
comes from
very
the
good.
political will. If we do
Yes.
not have our politicians supporting this greater, for a greater reason, for a sustainable society, we will not be able to get the proper funds. The funds are there, but where is it used? Is it for a good cause? Is it for the
Where
climate
it
change?
goes, where it goes happens
Yes,
every. The fund is never missing. The fund is
yes.
always there. The country, they have
Always there,
budget,
but
yearly
where it
budget.
is going?
Where
Where is
is
the
going,
thing? The
how it is.
policy implementation? We need to work on policy implementation. Political will and commitment are needed to translate climate and development goals into effective policies. If we cannot do that, we will again be a failure. So, if we need to move ahead, this funding will only be possible with the political will and commitment. Then the knowledge gaps, which I was talking about, bridging the gaps in the knowledge, in the capacity, what is that? Increased cooperation of knowledge between scientists, researchers, businesses, they are all together. But now they
Yes.
are working separately. Businessmen are working separately. They want their own TRPs. The scientists are working in their own way. They have their whole resources with them, but they are not able to hand it over down to the public authorities in a proper way where they can understand. They have given it into a systematized way. So, these knowledge gaps, we need a more simplified way of understanding, which is
Yeah,
again
we might
missing.
have a we might have a the best policy in the
Yes,
region. You know, like Malaysia, we have fantastic education policies, but are they implemented?
yes.
Same.
Why?
They can
Because,
have
ma'am, the
wonderful
reason,
policies on papers,
yeah,
okay?
the reason, I
They
feel
can,
the reason, ma'am, is that
uh,
they are not simplified. People, the businessmen, they only know to give money. but they want to understand. But now the researchers and the scientists have given the theories in such a language where this business people and the money minded people are not able to understand, why should I invest? What is my returns? So in that point of view, the knowledge gaps, we need to fulfill the knowledge gaps in between. The bridge has to be built up between the knowledge and the money, so the funds can come in. We know that the people, those who are producers and those who are funding us, they are only having money. We need to explain them what will be their benefit, then only they can fund us. But there is again a knowledge gap. We are not able to make them understand properly. So we need to fill up this knowledge gaps too in between, in the
Yes.
long run. Then we can get the proper funding. Then we also need to make up with the inequality and the vulnerability. So this inequality and vulnerability also goes far ahead in building up this adaptability reason. Climate has changed inequalities. We have, as ma'am had already said, Esther ma'am, that widening the gap between the rich and the poor. The poor
Yes.
people are still now in that condition. We consider ourselves that we have been able to provide all the solutions, but where is that solution? Why is it not reaching out to those poor people? Why is the poor still poorer and the rich becoming more richer? Inclusive, equitable solutions also is needed. Institutional fragmentation is also lacking. We are not able to reach out a common framework. We have understanding how to integrate all the agendas and use it. But where? The mainstream of the climatic challenges, the climate's planning, policy, everything is ready with us. But why have we not been able to implement it still now everywhere, throughout globally, which is not resulting into a complete sustainable development? There is development in few regions, why not into the others? So
Again,
addressing those
authority,
challenges, we
implementation of
require,
policy. Yeah.
yeah,
Again, like whatever you said, Professor, again, implementation of the policy, authorities, you know, how hard, how well they work, and all. If you see, if you come to Malaysia, if you go to a low cost place, okay, low income people, where the low income people stay, you can see each house, at least they will have one car, two cars nowadays. Some have three, four cars, expensive cars parked there. Do you think they are really poor? No, they are not poor. Some nowadays in Malaysia, what's happening, especially in KL City, we have seen few, they are on YouTube also. The low cost house have been converted like hotel rooms,
mm,
like a hotel.
yes,
Outside, it's a low cost flats. You know, you go in, you enter the house, and the whole thing is marble, modern toilets. These are what some people are preparing for their retirement, because they say once we are old, our children are married, and we have to stay here. We can't afford to buy any house, you know or we take out our money and we don't have to pay the bank, and we stay like this. So where, if we say low income groups live and they have less awareness, no, not enough facilities, I think as far as Malaysia is concerned, it's not really true. The people who are poor here are not really poor, low income group. You see, a lot of things,
yes,
really
yes.
wonderful.
So it is very
Yeah.
important that we address all these challenges, as it requires a holistic and integrated approach. We need
Yes.
that approach completely, and it will always prioritize the collaboration. One very
Yes.
important, knowledge
Yeah.
sharing and
Oh,
inclusive solutions, where we, after that only, we can have sustainable development, complete sustainable development to see.
yeah.
So
And again, the authorities who are involved, maybe teachers and students, they can take a trip on like student exchange program. Like one of my friend
yes,
in Croatia. She told me how well they prefer to live in village, away from town. You know,
Okay.
they don't mind traveling to work, schools every day, but they have in the small town, they have everything. They plant vegetable. They're self-sufficient. They don't even go to market. You see, this is possible. When this person told me, this is my friend of mine, online friend as well. When she shares with me, oh, I was really thinking, oh, why not? I should go and visit this country. She says beautiful. She says my country. They make sure that everything is well organized. People are self-sufficient. Not everybody move to live in town, cities. So balanced life there. You see, so it's how well the country, like India, is not easy because it's too huge, and that's why I say every state have to take the initiative. Same like Malaysia, although a
Yes.
small country, if no initiative, nothing is going to happen. Yeah, so you can see small countries, they are able to do it. you know Recycling, and they have in
Yeah.
their small towns, they have everything made from recycled products, waste
Very
products.
true. Very true.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah. So the
Yes.
children are growing, looking at all this from young. So when they grow up, they are already ready to live like that. So
Yes.
adults. Yeah. Wonderful,
So,
wonderful. Great
yeah.
session, Professor Rajna.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Anjum ma'am,
much.
for that last question.
Yeah.
We finally, I would love to end my
Yeah, yeah, please.
answer with that we should completely prioritize on collaboration. Number one, knowledge sharing, and last but not the least, inclusive solutions, which covers up everything. So thank you
That,
so much. I really enjoyed Esther
yeah.
ma'am. It
Thank
was
you.
lovely. And Anju ma'am, always a pleasure talking to you. I
Yeah,
truly,
I have
truly
seen
enjoyed.
you many times on the Facebook. I've seen you many times. You appear and any
Thank
posters.
you, ma'am. Thank
And,
you.
and suddenly, when Dr. Anjum proposed, I said, "Yeah, go ahead." I used to see her. I said, "Please go ahead," you know. And I think she made the right choice. And thank you so much for sharing such a insightful sharing, very from to depth and width you have shared. Yeah. So
Thank you. Thank
fantastic,
you.
fantastic. Thank
From
you
my
for your time.
practical knowledge, I was just trying to share because I'm working right now with all these initiatives. We have the women's
Oh,
cell also council, wherein we take care of the women who are suffering. We also have our own, organization wherein we are working with small things like the vocational skills, financial.
yeah,
We are giving them support. We don't give them financial support. We give them the knowledge how to utilize the financial support in different ways. In their free time, how you can work up and have an additional benefit instead of just wasting the money. Suddenly, you discover you are penniless. So
yes.
we are working on several topics like this, ma'am, and developing the skills wherein they themselves can earn something and live, survive in their own money. So the women don't
Yeah,
have to be
great.
dependent most of the time.
Great initiative, great initiative. Wonderful, wonderful. I think if
Thank you.
everybody start working like you, Professor, I think our surroundings will be, at least our surroundings will be a better place to live. Yeah, our environment, uh, condition can improve here. So nothing is impossible, right? We have to take action. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Dr. Anjum, do you have anything to say? You're muted.
Yeah, I think we really had a great discussion, and thank you, Rashna ma'am, for joining
Yeah.
and sharing your views. It was really, we really had a fruitful discussion today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, dear audience, we couldn't thank enough to Professor Rachna for sharing so much with us, and she has created, her sharing questions, some like Dr. Anjum's questions have really moved us to chat more about this topic. Anyway, thank you so much, and till we meet again in next SDG session with another wonderful panelist like Professor Ranjana. Just it's suspense. We ourselves don't know what is the topic next week. So till we meet again, and tomorrow, please don't forget, we have our professional master class for PhD lecturers and students on advanced research. Yeah. So the topic will be on visualizing data. Okay. Please join us tomorrow. Thank you and good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you. Bye bye.